Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to discuss what pros and cons there are when it comes to riding a refreshed in 2023 KTM 890 Adventure in the R variant. I've already made such a video for non-R variants, so also check it out later. But now, since this R variant rides differently, let's dig into what good and what bad there is about it. I have ridden all mid-size adventure motorcycles available at the time of making this video, so my assessments are based on what I already know is possible to achieve in this segment of motorcycles. On the other hand, always make sure that you go and test every bike that interests you yourself to have your own opinion. We don't only like different things at times, but we're also differently built, even physically, which matters a lot in terms of riding motorcycles. I'm here to help you pay attention to the areas that I believe, as objectively as a person can, that may matter to you the most. If you end up not willing to get an 890 Adventure R, get yourself an electrically adjustable office chair like my 7G11. Check it out at powerseats.eu. Everything is movable here. You could get two for the price of a bike like this, maybe even more. I'm just saying, but let's get to the point, so to the list. And first I'll present you what I feel is really good about this Adventure R, and after that I'll get to the downsides. Let's rock it with the first point, and a pro in the form of a huge ground clearance, long travel suspension, and easily adjustable front and rear suspension. But there is a question here too. Who would buy such a motorcycle to benefit from its enormous ground clearance and suspension travel? It's for you guys to answer individually, but if you want to ride over a curb, this bike will be a great choice to do that on. In the second place, there is a more universal advantage of this 890 Adventure R, and that is bloody fabulous engine that's got plenty of power and torque, smoothness, flexibility, and what I personally love, a feel of effortlessness. You roll the throttle wide open and the bike is perfectly calm, just firing like crazy forward. It is very encouraging and satisfying, and I cannot recommend this powertrain enough. I really am a fan here. Now, the third great thing is the digital display. So if there are those screens everywhere and we cannot run away from them, we may just as well get the most out of them. And KTM definitely leads the way here with a pleasant experience that using the display and its menus is providing us. There's clear image, it's reacting quickly, it's easy to use with simple menus and animations explaining certain functions that you come across scrolling through the menus. It is a really well done job by KTM and a setup that's nice to use. Then there's a more controversial one to me myself in the first place, and that's the windscreen, that despite not providing pretty much any wind protection, it does at least help eliminate any turbulences. It is not adjustable, but then if anyone thinks, just like the style of this bike suggests, to ride this bike off the road, then a low windscreen, or rather a shield of sorts, may be a good solution. I feel it is better than a slightly taller windscreen that never is tall enough anyways in stock motorcycles, but that is generating turbulences. Here it does at least one job well, and if you want it to protect you from the airstream, then you just get a full tall windscreen instead. The last point here, so fifth, is that rugged look that some may like. I'm not sure that most of us find it pretty, I surely don't, but dirt bike fans that would like to maintain the style also outside of purely off-roading situations on their dirt bikes may enjoy the very clear image that the R version with this beak is sending here. I'm going to end this part at that and move to what's not cool about this motorcycle, and what I believe you will have to make your peace with if you want to ride and live with this bike every day. The first thing on the list is stiff suspension and an overall jumpy riding experience because of that. I like it comfy no matter what, so this doesn't really suit me well, and it is also kind of counterintuitive as suspension has long travel in the front and rear. So no, forget about the comfortable ride here. The second spot on the list is dedicated to this engine getting extremely hot in every instance. So in a normal 890 Adventure, and also in a bike called Husqvarna Norden 901, which I reviewed also recently. All of these suffer from terrible heat management that gets in the way when riding in the city at lower speeds and slash or on warm days. It's really bad quite quickly, and I'm not sure if there is a working fix for that. I don't think there is. Number 3 is that the seat is not adjustable in terms of its height while being pretty tall. I cannot flat-foot the bike with my 183 centimeters of height or 6 feet tall, so be warned, yet this is largely why this version exists in the first place, so it's more of a reminder rather than a flaw, I think. It would be like saying that big engine is not an advantage because it's large and needs a lot of space, but still wanting to have a lot of power. It just kind of goes together, and here's a similar story. We've got pretty bad tires when it comes to grip on the tarmac. Open the throttle while in the first gear, and the rear tire would be all over the place if not for the traction control. The end result is not being able to use all that available power, so the tires are not very good for on-roading and for on-road riding, and well, they don't look particularly capable for hardcore off-roading. It makes me question things, and now moving to the 5th spot, I'm not sure what sense this bike actually makes. Plenty of power that is limited by the tires, long travel suspension that is harsh, super tall bike that's still heavy with a lot of weight up. It makes me connect it with the next 6 con, which is the sheer existence of the 890 Adventure without the letter R in the name. That makes choosing the R a hard decision. I'll leave it at that, and here I recommend that you watch my comparison of the two in a video that I've linked in the description. And this makes us move to the last 7th con about the sitting position on the bike. That is not great for me personally. It is because foot pegs are way too high, causing knee angle to be not comfortable. Then there is a low handlebar, and in the end you're sitting like on a go-kart with not as much control over the bike as I wish there was. That's how I feel about what posture I'm having when on an 890 Adventure R, and it's not the most pleasant feeling amongst all possibilities. Somehow I would not feel this way on the 890 without the R. Maybe it's different, or maybe it's just me feeling differently generally. I don't know that. Now remember that we are all different, and you may enjoy some of the things that I mentioned that I don't enjoy. Always make sure that you test a given motorcycle and its specific version before buying it. Seemingly similar motorcycles can feel so much differently. I realize how hard and almost impossible it is for a regular buyer to test all options, as I've just been through that myself, but of course it would be the perfect situation, but it is what it is. That's why I'm doing it for you guys, so that you at least have a chance to narrow it down to, let's say, 3-4 bikes that then you test ride and choose the best one for you yourselves. Now make sure to check my full review of this KTM 890 Adventure R, and I would really also check the non-R variant if I were you. I've tested it too, so start there and subscribe to see next reviews and comparisons coming.